What's going on, my Jack brother? Coach Scott here. In today's video, we're going to talk about 3 huge muscle building mistakes that I see many guys make. The idea for today's topic came from a great email that I recently received from Steve that I think a lot of you guys watching this video are going to relate to. Steve is 56 years young, recently lost some weight, feels like he may have lost some muscle in that process and is now in a muscle building phase and feeling let down by a lot of the programs and promises out there. He also recognizes that some of his biggest challenges are that he's not consistent and that he's kind of stuck in this mindset of more is better, mainly because he feels like he's got the energy of a 20-year-old. Now, if you can relate to Steve, I would love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Let him know that he is not alone. And Steve, my man, congratulations not only on your weight loss success and on having the energy of a 20-year-old. Clearly, you are doing a lot of things right, but also for recognizing your challenges when it comes to consistency and maybe how your more is better approach may be holding you back. The first huge muscle building mistake is having unrealistic expectations. I can't really blame you for it. It's really the fault of the industry, the hyped up marketing messages and outrageous claims of gaining 10 to 20, 30 pounds of muscle in the next 30 to 90 days is just freaking ridiculous. And you've got to ask yourself when you invest in a program such as this with these kind of outrageous claims, if you're not gaining much muscle in that first 30 days, what's going on with you mentally, psychologically there? Are you thinking to yourself like, what's wrong with me? Or screw this, these programs don't work. Maybe I should look for the next program that claims 10, 20, 30 pounds of muscle, and like maybe that's the plan that has the trick that's going to work for me. The thing is, you really got to put things into perspective. All you have to do is kind of look at the industry as a whole. Look at all the fitness influencers that you're following, even all these different muscle building coaches out there. Are they themselves packing on muscle? Are you seeing them physically like transforming before your eyes month after month? I certainly am not seeing it all. I'm not seeing anyone kind of living up to these kind of claims. Even like with some of the newbie lifters out there are not experiencing those kind of outrageous muscle gains. So when it comes to setting realistic expectations, rather than focusing on the hyped up claims that are out there, I really want you to look for real world examples. The people are like really documenting their journey, documenting their progress. Guys like Alberto Nunez, who's competing in bodybuilding right now, looking crazy freaking shredded. A guy who is incredibly freaking knowledgeable, a great coach himself. He's been in a muscle building phase for the past 5 years. Again, a genetic freak as well. So if anyone's going to be packing on muscle, he's definitely going to be one of those guys. And after spending all that time building upon his physique, cutting down for this muscle building contest, he's basically the same weight he was before the last time he competed over 5 years ago. Same thing with Jeff Albert. Jeff is kind of weighing in lighter than he was for previous competitions, but he's looking better, even though he's not like packing on muscle. It's that muscle maturity, that muscle density, really bringing out the finer details of his physique. Even a younger bro, Peter Fitchen, another bodybuilding competitor out there, in his mid 30s, showing like his past like 15 years of experience. I think he's gained 5 pounds of muscle during that time. Incredibly knowledgeable guy. Lane Norton, another guy who's really incredibly knowledgeable. Again, some pretty damn good genetics there. Really not gaining much muscle throughout the past several years here. Myself personally, I've been documenting my journey for the past decade. You're seeing like muscle building has been a very slow and steady process, and I've been doing all of the right things. I've experimented with a lot of different approaches as well. I've done some bulking and cutting. I've taken more of a slow and steady approach, and I'm really finding that no matter what, at this stage in the game, with over 30 years of lifting experience, 47 years young, I mean, muscle building is coming at a very slow and steady pace. And when it comes to realistic expectations for muscle building, it really truly requires a lot of patience and a lot of consistency. And that brings us to the second huge muscle building mistake that I see many guys make, and Steve recognizing himself, and that is a lack of consistency. I have seen many guys experience really good muscle building results from some of the most poorly designed muscle building programs out there simply because of their consistent effort. Then on the other hand, I have seen many guys follow the most strategically designed muscle building program and experience almost no results at all because they weren't consistent with the effort they were putting towards their diet and their training over an extended period of time. We're not talking about consistency over the course of a week or even a month. We are talking training months and months and years in order to experience the kind of muscle building results that you desire. So when you think of it this way, it's really a big picture approach. And in that big picture approach, you're not just going to be following one muscle building program, you're going to be linking together many different muscle building programs strategically throughout the year and over the course of multiple years in order to challenge your body in the way that it needs to grow and really transform your body into the physique that you desire. So like the muscle building program that you may be following that you're frustrated with may actually be producing the results that you would expect from a program like that. It's just not the hyped up claims of 10, 20, 30 pounds of muscle. But if you follow a certain program for like 12 weeks or 16 weeks and you gain a few pounds of muscle or even a pound of muscle during that process, you change up, follow a different program, stack it on top of each other in a strategic way, add another 2 to 3 pounds of muscle. I mean, you are experiencing results that are, probably likely above, if you're gaining like more than 2 to 3 pounds of muscle per year, on par with what you would expect from a lot of these programs, just not what you expect when you're trying to live up to the claims of those programs. So consistency is absolutely key. Have a big picture approach, have patience, and stringing together multiple muscle building programs together. And the third huge muscle building mistake that I see many guys make, and Steve again recognized himself, is that more is better mindset. And again, Steve, you're definitely not alone in this. And I think there's logic and rationale behind it, especially when you're looking at the evidence that suggests that the more advanced you are in your training, the more volume you need to add to your training in order to spark that growth response, because your body adapts to the training volume. So you need to challenge it more and challenge it more in order to give it a reason to grow. And I think Renaissance Periodization just shared a post last week where they showed like beginner lifters could like train 2 to 4 times per week and experience growth. Intermediate lifters looking at 3 to 6 times per week. And then advanced lifters training 5 to 12 times per week. So they're like, if you're advanced, you should be considering like 2 a day kind of training, which I think is just not practical for most of us, like including myself. It's my lifestyle. This is my profession. The idea of training twice a day, it's crossed my mind a couple of times. I think it'd be a fun experiment. There's other things I want to do in my life. There's other things I want to accomplish. I'm not, I guess, that passionate about trying to add on any last little ounce of muscle to my body to take it to that level where other aspects of my life are going to have to sacrifice in order to do that. So again, there's logic in more is better, but really, again, in the big picture, it may be appropriate, but only in the short term. You really do need to take a big picture approach and challenge your body with that high volume stimulus, but know that your body can only handle so much training volume. It can add more and more and more. You get to the point where you experience diminishing returns. Your body just can't recover enough to handle that kind of volume. So you need to pull it back and challenge yourself with a lower volume training phase and then ramp that volume back up. When you reduce the volume to a lower volume training phase, your body's going to resensitize to that training stimulus. So when you start to add more volume back in, it's going to respond better than it was even at the higher volumes there, because it's, again, not used to it. You just resensitized it to this newer training stimulus. Like it's almost like it is new to you to start bumping it up again. Where if you just keep the volume high all the time, your body is used to that volume. It's really, you're not giving your body a reason to grow. If you try to push it anymore, you're just overreaching too much and you're running the risk of overtraining, or at least just being detrimental to the results that you are aiming for. So again, it's why I like to take a big picture approach, periodize my training volume throughout the year, have low volume phases, have high volume phases. And although those lower volume training phases are great for resensitizing your muscles to the training stimulus, allowing your body to fully recover, the fatigue to completely dissipate from your body, I don't want you always thinking of those lower volume training phases as being less, like you're not providing your body with enough stimulus to grow, because sometimes doing less can be more. That's been something I've been sharing in a lot of my recent videos. I used to be a high volume junkie, doing like 4 or 5 exercises per muscle group and per workout multiple times throughout the week. And when I reflect back on those times, I was giving my best effort at the time. I was like crushing my workouts, but at the same time, realizing that I was kind of pacing myself through those workouts as well. Like not every set was I giving the best of my ability to, and especially beyond that 60-minute mark. Not only did I kind of not necessarily mentally check out, but mentally fatigued at that point. So the amount of focus and effort that I was able to give to every exercise beyond that 60-minute mark was nothing compared to the exercises earlier in that training session. Whereas now my workouts are like between 45 and 60 minutes, a lot fewer exercises, but I am crushing every freaking set. Like because I know the workout's going to be done in 45 to 60 minutes, I am like amped up to give absolutely everything that I got, leave it all out there on the gym floor. There is no pacing going on there. I am walking in that door ready to freaking crush everything that I encounter throughout that workout. So I am getting more out of less. So more isn't always adding more to your workout. Sometimes it is taking it away, so you can give more of your focus, more of your effort to each training session. So I want you to consider a lot of those things when you're, again, looking in the big picture, periodizing your training volume as you start to ramp it up. Pay attention to mental focus. Are you able to stay with it throughout the entire training session? Is it worth it to add more to your training sessions, or are you better off just keeping things a little bit less? But again, challenge yourself from time. Like spend a month to 8 weeks overreaching with high volume training, but know that you have to pull it back at times there. So highly encourage you to periodize your training volume again, so you can work in that more. You kind of satisfy that craving within you to do that high volume, to really be, if you are addicted to that kind of training stimulus there, you kind of get that, and you get to challenge your body in a way that hasn't been challenged in a while, but know that you have to pull it back there as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'd love to hear your insights on these 3 huge muscle building mistakes here. Are you guilty of any of them? Can you relate to Steve's challenges there? Please drop a comment down below to share your thoughts, your insights, your feedback, and your own personal experiences. If you did enjoy today's video, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up, and I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you next video.